Hello, this is Greg with Northern Audio, and today I wanted to go over a speaker we just got in stock. We've been highly anticipating. It is the Revival Audio ATALANTE 7 Evo. And I got to say, this thing rapidly shot to my second favorite speaker already. I spent a couple nights late here listening to them, really digest what these things were doing, how they're different, some of the different technologies they're employing. I made some notes actually to keep it a little more succinct. So that being said, first thing first, the soundstage on these speakers are incredible. The very relaxed, it makes things very musical no matter what it is. And it's a testament to the mid-range. It's a testament to the way that they do the tweeter. With the tweeter, they have a RASC technology where basically it's refined from the Adelante 5. It's something they employed there, but it minimizes distortions and vibrations. The woofer is a BCS woofer, 15-inch. And the sense of scale of these speakers is like a horn speaker. We have these sitting next to the Klipsch horns, and there's been several times I thought it was the Klipsch horns that were on. Partly is because the soundstage goes extremely far left and right of the outsides of the speaker. Not every speaker pulls that off, and these do that incredibly well. To the point, if you've ever heard Q sound, and sometimes it sounds like there's things coming from the side of you, these speakers do that on their own. So, I mean, it's extremely impressive, extremely engaging soundstage. It's something that really just keeps you coming back for more. What's this song sound like? What's this song sound like? There's been several nights I stayed here till like 9, 10 o'clock at night, actually just listening to speakers. I mean, it's been a long time since something grabbed you like that. These are special speakers. So I wrote down a couple things, just kind of convey the thoughts, and obviously I mentioned the sense of scale. They're like a horn speaker, but just very rich, present in the room. It's a very lively type sound. Has a very analog type sound. Even when you're listening to digital music, it's almost has a kind of vinyl type qualities. It's very musical. The stats on them, they're 90 dB, 6 ohm speakers. So a couple things, whenever we were making some moves, we didn't have the right amps over here in this side of the room at first. I had it hooked up to the Luxman. And that was the KT88 tube amp. We were driving it with the Luxman preamp. And yeah, you could get it up to sufficient volumes, but you certainly had to push it. Conversely, put that on to now what we have running a Rogue Audio Stereo 100 and running that with an RT5. And that Stereo 100 is a high gain amp. It really has a lot of grip on a speaker, much better match. They like power, they like current. You can actually drive them with up to 300 watts continuously. So there's no harm in using a larger amplifier in order to get that kind of grip. They do recommend 50 to 75 watts, I believe is what they say, but I would tell you, you want to get some real serious power into these. You'll certainly be rewarded for doing so. There's a difference. Some of the other things that you'll see that's different from the Adelante 5 is these ones are front ported, and they call that the Aerovex port. The bass that these produce is very horn-like, very bass spin-like. You get that big box sound, and then that's just obviously being the big box that it is. But having the port in the front really gives you that airy poof to the bass if you're listening to jazz and things. And this was actually a feature of the Adelante 5, and this does it a lot better. But I made the comment about using 24-inch kick drums and whatnot. And you really could start to tell that difference. These speakers really bring that kind of thing out, almost like a horn bass spin type quality to it. So we have these sitting next to the Klipsch horns. It's a very good comparison. A couple of other things, the soundstage in these, just like I've been talking about, but really when you dig into why, the crossovers, when you go on their webpage, they have a very nice layout of all of the features of the speaker, and they go into detail on some of the different things that they've done with the crossovers. But that's where the magic is at in these speakers. They use all Vanderhall wiring, and very hand-tuned. It seems like they went through many iterations. Even this looking like the Adelante 5 mid-range driver, even this has been updated and it has new technology employed to it. So definitely check out the website. As far as where they go as bottom end, 23 hertz. there's really no natural music that goes down to 23 hertz, so there's nothing these won't play. They do like a big room. These command a big room. I would not try to stuff these into a little room. You're certainly going to be missing the magic. So much so, even in this room here, as you get further and further back, you can hear the bass fills in more. It's a little more delineated, which then in turn makes the rest of the soundstage bloom. So, what we learned there from that exercise is, like I said, that it seems like the bigger the room, the better, but obviously just make sure you have proper amplification with it. So, like I said, what we're running it on, the Stereo 100 seems to do quite well with it. Yeah, one of my favorite speakers right out of the gate. I think as these things warm up, they're going to become more so. Come down and see us. 3003 Babcock Boulevard will give you a fantastic review of them, and look forward to seeing you. Thanks again for listening to the music.